welcome. It is time for you to align and to be in the highest vibrational state that is for you in this time-space reality. My name is Michelle Juanita Lamont. I'm a manifestation master, author, speaker, and coach, and award-winning podcast host. I have created a podcast over the last 2 years that has hundreds and thousands of people changing their reality. That's the truth. How did I become a guru? How did I become a master? How did I go from going from hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, never having any money in my bank account, never having opportunities, constantly being exhausted, constantly feeling like, when is this shit gonna end? It wasn't until I learned a very valuable lesson from a very old philosopher, Lao-Tzu. And Lao-Tzu says, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. And that is exactly how it works. And because this is such a valuable and important factor in manifesting, I've decided to use this quote to create an entire podcast on the gift of letting go. Because so many times we hold on to things as if that holding on to them would keep us attached to the brokenness, and somehow we would resolve it and it would become a solution. But I can tell you right now that of the hundreds and thousands of hours that I have spent and the hundreds and thousands of people that have tuned into this vibration and have signed up for one of my classes and one of my courses know that becoming who you really are is going to take letting go of who you are not. You're holding on so tight to a reality in which you are so limited and you are unvalidated in your worthiness. You're constantly trying to prove that what you're going to do is going to work and what you think is going to happen and what you want is going to be. But I'm here to remind you, how can you be free if you're relegated to living in a reality that is broken and that is twisted and that is convoluted? You're in a convoluted universe. It's all an illusion anyway. And which illusion you choose depends on which reality you're ready to walk into. I used to hold on to things like a badge of honor. I used to think that if I forgive something, if I let it go, then therefore that person has won something over on me, has bested me. But maybe they were actually in my reality to teach me that if I can let go of that, then I can get all of this. This gift of letting go, it reminds me of that little meme where, and I don't know what religion you practice or if you practice a religion. I do not. I simply believe in the Creator God and all of his teachings. And I'm not going to be subjugated to one book or one philosophy or one point of view, because this is a limitless universe and I am a limitless creator with a limitless co-creator as my BFF, God. And if you think you're alone, you are absolutely wrong. And I'm here to let you know that everything that you desire desires you. And in order for us to step into that higher state of being, we have to. We cannot dilly-dally, and we cannot take so much space in our history. If you want to, you can think of your emotional life as suitcases. You can think of your emotional reality as the emotions or the people or the situations that you're not ready to let go of, that you're not ready to release as the baggage in your life. And people used to say this all the time to me: why are you carrying around all this emotional baggage, Michelle? But I was very successful. But the reason that I was successful wasn't because I was carrying around all the luggage, overfilled, unnecessary luggage, emotional baggage of my life. It's because I believed that by giving them forgiveness or letting go of this ideology or this persona or this perception of who I had to be happy, I wasn't actually tapping into the creative and limitless universe in which we can create anything and be happy with so much more. It's very difficult when you have been indoctrinated into a system in which the bias is that you're fucking broken, that you're a piece of shit. Why are you even considering being a rock star? Why are you even considering being an author? Why don't you go back to your job that you have your degree in? Or maybe you never even got that far. Why don't you go back to that day job? Why don't you go back to living small? Every single creator, inventor, every person who has ever filed a patent. And out of curiosity, I'm so curious. I wonder how many patents have ever been filed. I bet there's millions. Out of all those people, they lived and they believed in a limitless reality. And so therefore, they could change the outcome in which they regulated in. If you've learned nothing so far from my podcast, whether you've signed up for one of my courses, whether you have done a one-on-one session with me, or you're about to, you have to understand that manifesting isn't about staying in some sort of lollygagging around Pollyanna reality where everything always is just sugar plum and fairy tales. That's not my life. That wasn't my life. And even now, things that come up, things that challenge me, things that make me question my own sense of being, these are good things. Because in a limitless universe, the majority of our life, we spend trying to answer questions that were already solved, trying to come up with solutions that have already been made. You see, you and your team of light decided a long time ago that when you incarnated into this planet called Earth, the teaching planet, you would now be subjugated to the rules of Earth. But you are not limited to them. You are not limited to them. You are not limited to these rules. Fuck that. You got to understand that you are a powerful creator. But if you're going to drag all that history with you, you better build up some big biceps, because it's going to take a lot of energy for you to create the things that you want, the things that you came here, the things that you desire most. When we release the need to be right, to be proven correct, it's almost as if we shift into a quantum field where things just seem to evolve differently. Releasing all of the things in that category, in those categories, what does that do for you energetically? Energetically, it allows you to release so you can move forward in the creative process. What is energy? Everything. Every single thing is energy. If we were to take a microscope and put your hand under the microscope, what do you think you would see? Would you see a solid matter? No. You would see all these protons, molecules, atoms, everything vibrating in its energetic field. You're in an energetic field. We can measure energy up to 6 and 8 feet. You can do an EKG on your toe. So when energy and frequency and vibration all align and you're free, your reality changes. You manifest things into your reality. You are the badass creator that you in your dreams believe you are. Rubbing that lamp when you were a little kid and watching Jasmine become with Aladdin and the whatever, the genie comes in and gives you the wishes. This is true. The words abracadabra actually are origins of making things come into your reality. But you have to have one rule that will allow you to move through these realities. We are not alone. We are not alone. We are not alone. Hey, we are not alone. Hey, hey, hey. You and God are not separate. There is a creator who is infinite, who is limitless, who loves you beyond love. And we can't fix things the way we broke them. You see, we're regulated to the ideas that our little bitty brain can actually conceptualize. And then you're going to have to go back and be subjugated to the thought process of the way the brain works. So what is that? Well, 5 to 10% of your brain is your conscious thinking. That's it. How fucked up is that? We spend so much time educating ourselves and so much time trying to read and grow and learn and evolve to just find out that we're at full capacity, like a super genius is at 9% in the waking hours. Facts. And then you're going to have to go back and understand that your unconscious mind is 30% always dormant, asleep, dead, not active. Nothing's happening. And then your subconscious mind is 50 to 60%. And that can only be accessible when you're asleep. So how do you change your reality if you have less than an 8% chance mathematically to do it? That's all you need. That's all you need. You got to have the faith of a mustard seed. You got to believe. You got to understand that manifesting isn't just wishful thinking or positive thinking. It is understanding that you have to take action. And part of that action today that I'm going to invite you to do is learn the gift of letting go of your need to be right, of your need to be proven correct, of your need to be whatever it is that you want to identify with, and allow the universe to show you how dynamic and powerful of a creator it can be. And you cannot fix something the way you broke it. And humans can only think of so many ways to solve problems. And let me tell you something. The things that I have manifested, the greatest things, this insane house that I live in, the fact that hundreds and thousands of people are tuned into this podcast, the fact that I'm booked, busy, and in demand, the fact that you're on a 2-month wait list right now to just talk to me. And the fact that I started this with no advertisers, no guests, and no listeners means that there was something bigger than me pushing you here. Pushing you to manifest your miracles, pushing you to change your thought process, pushing you to push past everything that you're carrying around and let that shit go, man. You see, manifesting requires a miracle. And unless you're born a miracle maker, you're going to have to rely on something a little bit bigger than you. See, manifesting equals faith. And if you can't let go that the universe is going to resolve it, you can't let go that it's already being taken care of. You can't let go that it's going to come to you more naturally. You can't let go that somebody else is going to serve that vengeance. You can't let go that somebody else is going to find that way to make sure that they don't do this to anybody else. You can't let go of the fact that perhaps the reason that you experienced that particular situation, person, place, or thing was so that you could energetically evolve. This is a very hard concept. And I need you to understand that you're not going to get it on your first try, your second, or your third. But I promise you, 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 I promise you. I promise you that if you do, if you agree right now, if you say, yes, I will let go of that person. Yes, I will let go of that thing. I am sick and tired of carrying around all this extra luggage and paying the toll and paying the price. Imagine if your life was a flight. And you get to the airport and it's Earth. And your guides are all standing around. And they say, okay, Michelle, you're a Scorpio. You're a life path 9. This is your 9th time here. You were started in fire and you were cured and curated in water. You're the only sign like this in the universe. And when you come here, you can have everything that you want. But you're going to have to go through all of these different luggages of pain to get there. How many suitcases would you take? That's what you thought of before you came here. I'm willing to do this, and I'm willing to do this, and I'm willing to do this because I understand that there is no wasted suffering. And I understand that I am protected beyond protection. And I am going to circle back and go through these things and challenge my universe and challenge my mentality and challenge every single thing I know. So I won't create in my limited thinking. This always boggles my mind why I couldn't conceive this sooner. But I had to let go of the fact that I didn't, so therefore I could release it and let the universe create something bigger and better and more powerful and more immersive than anything I could even imagine. Manifesting requires miracles and to be a limitless creator. And unfortunately, as humans, we're told about our limitations all the fucking time. Oh, you can't do that. You don't have enough money. You're too old. You're too young. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're too black. You're too white. You're too Mexican. You're too Latina. You're too whatever the fuck. But you're not anything. You're a soul. You're a beautiful, blessed, divine soul. And if you can just conceptualize letting go and forgiving that thing, that person, that place, and allow the universe to do its job, your reality will completely shift. Your reality will change. See, if you're subject to you resolving it the way that you created it, good luck. So I want to go over a few ideas because even children in school, my nieces, they're in college right now. Hi, girls. And they're always talking about their tests and their their labs and all the different things and having to give up and give a presentation and yada, yada, yada. And the girls are always talking about remembering the answers, but they're never taught how to find the solutions. And this is systematic for everybody, not just college kids or teenagers or even elementary school children. So I want to talk about steps to break the habit of being you. I had to break the habit of being Michelle. I had to break the habit of being insecure. I had to break the habit of always creating out of fear. I created out of lack. I took on people, jobs, situations, and circumstances which I knew were not good for me because I wanted the money, because I wanted the attention, because I wanted to be next to a celebrity, whatever the fuck it was. It was an ego-driven reality. So the first thing that you have to do to break the habit of being you is to release the thought that you are the solution. You are not the solution, okay? And the solution is probably somewhere in between the creator who created everything's wheelhouse a lot faster and able to give you all the miracles that you want if you just let them go, if you just let it go. The second thing, let go of how it comes. You see, if you had a very disruptive childhood, if you had a situation where maybe you went from school to school to school, or you didn't have financial security, or you didn't have an emotional security, and your parents were divorced or arguing, or you never met them, or whatever it was, or they died, or they gave you away. Then as an adult, when you're not healed, you start to become a control freak and you start to become so worried that, what if I do this and that doesn't happen? And what if I do this and this doesn't happen? I used to be so paranoid about all the different outcomes for all the different people who entrusted me with their PR campaigns or when I was owned retail store. As I had 4 retail stores and 60 employees, and I grew it from $250,000 to $1 million in 4 years or 5 years. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're not working with me, you're crazy. So you have to let go of how it comes. Because I would sit there and go over in my mind and over and over and over and over and over again. Well, what if this happens, then this is going to be the result. And what if this happens, this is going to be the result. And if I do this, this is going to happen. If I do this, this is going to happen. And so in order for you to really create the reality in which you are a limitless creator, you're going to have to hand it over to somebody who is more limitless than you. You're going to have the faith. You didn't figure it out. You only have so many ways of it happening. All of the phenomenal things that have come into my life, I had absolutely no control over. I manifested this reality because I let go of the ideology that I was in charge of it. I let go of the ideology that it was up to me. And so when I had to let go, I had to rethink the concept. Next step. You have to rethink this concept in a way that has nothing to do with the things that you've already done. See, if you're attached to the way that it comes, then you're attached to the way that it's going to leave, and you're attached to the way that you're going to succeed with it. And you can't release the idea, the people, the place, and the situation by holding on and stuffing it in the luggage and carrying it around with you the rest of your life. And you have to stop measuring your success with everyone else's. That shit kills you, okay? That shit kills you, and I mean that. When you are simply measuring yourself up to other people, you have no idea what's going on in their lives. You have no idea what it's like to be them. You have no idea what it's like in the way that they grew up or how they are. And even if you have something similar to them, it is different. You are not them. You got to be like a horse and put your blinders on and run your fucking race. It's important for you to understand how powerful you are. It's important for you to understand that letting go is the greatest gift that you will learn. What did Lao Tzu say? When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Such a profound thing, such a profound way of thinking. But I was regulated to hate. I was stuck in my pain. I was stuck in my suffering. I had to be right. I had to be vindicated. I thought I was worthless. I thought I was a piece of shit. And so then I assumed everybody in the room said, oh, she's a fucking fake. She's a liar. What's she doing on stage? Why is this bitch here? And on and on and on and on. But when you start to unpack those suitcases, what happens? You have a lot more room. You have a lot more room for everything that's coming. You're only going to be given 3 or 4 of these suitcases, and you need to dump them out so you can fill them back up, and dump them out so you can fill them back up, and dump them out so you can fill them back up. Don't align with anything other than your best interest. Don't align with political parties and ideologies. Don't be regulated to one specific religion. Be open. Don't be regulated to one specific ideology, like you're an American and they're Australian. We are all humans. We all came from the same creator. And we can all manifest our miracles when we understand that the suffering that we have endured no longer serves us. It's impossible for you to create something new, to buy something, some souvenirs for the future you, to relish in and to wear when your suitcase is full of all of the things of your history, all the biases, all the pain, all the suffering. So I'm going to understand you right now, right here. I want you to hear this with my highest thoughts. It's not working. What you're doing, it's not helping. It's not working. Change happens when we realize how fucking hard it is to be you. And it only happens when you realize that and when you see that for what it is. I held on to these things like a badge of honor, like they carried some sort of magical weight of gold. I offer 1 hour and 90-minute calls, one-on-one coaching, group courses, digital courses, bi-monthly newsletter that's free. And when you sign up for it, you get a book for free. Podcast for free. So all I ask is that you allow your higher self to start driving the bus of your success and stop getting on the struggle bus that you keep signing up for. Let me get all my luggage together. Let me get everything on here. Let me show everybody all the pain that I've had. Then they're going to understand why I'm such a cunt. They're going to understand why I'm such a prick. They're going to understand why I'm so pushy and so rude. That's bullshit. You can only change when you realize how fucking hard it is to maintain all of this suffering. There's no need for you to continue, man. And if you don't know how to let it go, I offer a 1 hour, a 90-minute call, group classes. I have something every January called Alignment Exposed. And let me tell you, I love this because it's only 12 of you. And my groups get pretty big. And in this group of 12, you will find your spiritual best friends. You will awaken things within yourself, and you get a plan for the rest of the year. We come up with a roadmap, a blueprint for your life for the next couple of months. And during those 6 weeks, you're going to unpack so many suitcases of pain, of suffering, of living small, of not understanding how powerful you are, of living in your truth, of calling in your divine blessings, of calling in the one person that you've been looking for, the emotional support system. You're going to call in your higher self. And your higher self is so powerful and so blessed.